Good Wednesday evening, June 5th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. Wenatchee police say they've nabbed the man suspected of using a handgun to rob the Wenatchee Subway store 3 weeks ago. Several local agencies will be joined by Congresswoman Kim Schreier on Friday to highlight federal funding she secured for Chelan County earlier this year. Get ready for temperatures to climb into the mid-80s tomorrow, with even warmer highs expected by Friday and this weekend. All the details straight ahead in your local weather forecast. The Wenatchee Valley's first major brush fire of the year was brought under control Tuesday in just over 4 hours. The Webb fire broke out at the Greater Wenatchee Regional Landfill on Webb Avenue outside East Wenatchee about 2:45 in the afternoon. It quickly went to 3 alarms and ultimately burned 554 acres. But Wenatchee Valley Fire Chief Brian Brett tells NCWLIFE News cooperation between agencies and the community help prevent any loss of life or structures.
Let me just take a moment to thank the people who made this successful in addition to our whole region. We had a dozer from Waste Management that deployed, putting a line around the fire, and KTS Construction had 2 water trucks and a dozer that they deployed, and it was critical to the success of this incident. They pretty much went direct, lining this fire. We went out to Keene Grade, looked down, scouted for an alternate dozer line in case we had to get way out ahead of it and punch another dozer line and then try and hold it before it went up into Keene Grade.
Because those roads that move up into Waterville Plateau, those are sensitive areas, tend to burn fast, and your concern was it would rise up Keene Grade, go up Batterman Road, and start to develop on the plateau. Yes,
on the plateau, then it's into the wheat fields, values at risk, and crops, and the complexity and difficulty of once it gets over into those drainages is far more difficult to extinguish. We historically have had to get a national type 2 or 1 team in place to manage those incidents.
And in this case, you were close to calling for a state mobilization, which would have brought in more resources from out of the area. You wound up not having to do that.
Yes, we had our state mobilization coordinator respond as part of our 3rd alarm resource request, and he was ready to pull the trigger for state mobilization had we not had success by the end of the evening.
The origin point for this, we believe, is the Greater Wenatchee Regional Landfill, operated by Waste Management. I think you mentioned to me earlier, you won't know causes for a while until your fire marshal is able to investigate.
Yes, our fire marshal was assigned to a structure protection group and leading a group of resources on the east flank of the fire last night, and obviously engaged in combat and unable to do an origin and cause investigation. He's out there this morning driving the perimeter of the fire, so he'll probably start the investigation this morning.
The Wenatchee School Board moved to amend Superintendent Corey Callahar's contract on Tuesday. Callahar was hired in 2023 on a 2-year interim basis, replacing Bill Eagle, who stepped in for the district after former Superintendent Paul Gordon's departure. After an executive session, the board announced their proposal would drop interim from his title and add a year to his contract, which would then expire in 2026. Several board members, including Julie Norton and Maria Iniguez, said the extension of a contract would provide stability to a district that has had several superintendents over the last few years. The district and Callahar now enter into contract negotiations, and the board will take action on the amended contract at a later meeting. Wenatchee police say they've nabbed the man suspected of using a handgun to rob the Wenatchee Subway store 3 weeks ago. 41-year-old Stephen James Arthur Moore of Cashmere was booked Tuesday into the Chelan County Regional Justice Center facing a charge of first-degree robbery. The robber made off with about $300 from the restaurant's cash register after displaying what employees believed was a firearm. Police detectives say Moore bragged to friends about committing the robbery, and surveillance video recorded him in the area shortly after. The alleged weapon used in the robbery may have been a BB gun. The Wenatchee School District is welcoming a new student resource officer who is set to start next school year. Edgar Barajas has been with the Wenatchee Police Department for 3 years and will assume the position in August. He takes over the role from SRO Natalie Steele. According to a district press release, Barajas has been shadowing SRO Corey Fuller as he gears up to begin his role later this year. He grew up in Kashmir and has family who attended Wenatchee School District, which he emphasized was a key factor into why he wants to make a difference in the lives of students. When we come back, Wenatchee police are reminding motorists to drop their speed as they enter the city via the Wenatchee River Bridge. Schools and child care services in Okanagan County will use grants from the Washington State Department of Agriculture to bring locally grown foods into their meal programs. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
The Lake Chelan Rotary Club invites you to experience Cycle Chelan, held each year on the third Saturday in June. Pick your thrill from 3 rides: the Metric Century Challenge, Cycle Divino, or the Lake Loop. All profits from Cycle Chelan are used to support student scholarships and other charitable activities of the Lake Chelan Rotary Club. Cycle Chelan, a route for every rider. Pick your thrill today.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents Wonders of Wooden Avenue.
Steelhead Cider offers 20 taps with cider, beer, and wine, featuring views of the lake, great music, and fantastic flights. Find it on Wooden Ave behind the bookstore in downtown Chelan.
Kelly's Classic Ace Hardware Store. From the minute you walk through the door, you'll feel the difference. Kelly's revives the days of personal service lost in the big box stores of today. Kelly's Ace Hardware in classic downtown Chelan.
Wonders of Wooden Avenue, North Central Washington's premier shopping district.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Hey man, how's your arm?
Getting better, actually, thanks.
Did they give you anything for pain after surgery? Because I think I may have some left over.
Nah, that's all right, man. Actually, me and my doctor talked about not sharing prescriptions, and that ibuprofen's a good option for me. The risk of addiction, it's not worth it.
Makes sense.
Take the next step. Don't share your prescriptions, and talk to your friends about the dangers of opioids.
Wenatchee police are reminding motorists to drop their speed as they enter the city via the Wenatchee River Bridge. A May 30th emphasis patrol found that vehicles heading southeast into town from Highway 285 tend to violate the 45-mile-per-hour zone that begins at School Street. Speed limits slow even further to 35 miles an hour at the bridge. The May 30th patrol cited 14 drivers for traveling at least 10 miles an hour over the posted speed limits. Schools and child care services in Okanagan County will use farm-to-school grants from the Washington State Department of Agriculture to bring locally grown foods into their meal programs. The Colville Confederated Tribes, the Methow Valley School District, and Pashal Sherman Indian School all tapped into a $350,000 state grant to provide Washington-grown and harvested foods for student meals. Their grant awards range from $6,000 to $12,000. The Ag Department says statewide requests for funding amounted to more than 3 times the total amount available. Several local agencies will be joined by Congresswoman Kim Schreier on Friday to highlight federal funding she secured earlier this year. The funding granted through community project funding requests in Congress included $900,000 for mobile water tanks and $660,000 for body-worn cameras. Representative Schreier will begin her visit in Wenatchee at the Chelan County Sheriff's Office, who were recipients of the funding for the cameras after previously being the only regional law enforcement agency to not wear them. In the afternoon, she will head to Leavenworth to meet with Chelan County Fire District Number 3 and Chelan County leadership about the mobile water tanks. The tanks are needed for locations away from fire hydrants to access water for structure fires and help maintain and/or lower property insurance for homeowners. Coming up next in tonight's feature story, we will let you know how the Chelan County compost company Winton Manufacturing converts vegetable matter into rich soil nutrients. Warmer temperatures out there today and getting much warmer by tomorrow and Friday. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Have you noticed how expensive it is this summer to feed a family at most restaurants? Even a burger basket for 6 people can run you $60. But at Abby's, you can still feed a family of 4 to 6 for less than $26. Real value. That's one more reason we're legendary. We know what Abby's customers like on their pizza. Meat. Lots of meat. That's why this month, we're piling on the classic pepperoni, Canadian bacon, and beef. Abby's Triple Topper has the meat you love, and right now, it's on sale. Order your Triple Topper at abbys.com.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family, and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today and let's find your happy place.
Lifeline Ambulance has partnered with Wenatchee Valley Tech to provide EMT certification training within the high school. This opens up career opportunities in EMS, fire, and other medical fields, and gives these students a leg up when entering the workforce.
Students at Wenatchee Valley Tech, through our partnership with Lifeline Ambulance, can now earn their National Registry EMT certification.
Mount Stewart Physical Therapy is all new. New staff, new therapists, and a fabulous new chiropractor. That's right, you do not need to drive to Wenatchee or Kashmir for your care. Come see Dr. Zolman, DC. No referral needed for most insurances. Open your auto and work injury claims with us, or fax your post-op and Medicare therapy prescriptions to us right here in town. We offer covered pelvic floor services. We are premium healthcare for the Upper Valley. Improve your quality of life today. Mount Stewart Integrative Therapy and Chiropractic.
For homeowners and businesses that want to dispose of their food and yard waste responsibly, Winton Manufacturing Compost Works have become Chelan County's go-to service. The company, located at the former Winton Mill site near Coles Corner, is able to take in up to 62,000 tons of vegetable matter a year to convert into rich soil nutrients. The service keeps that material from leaving the state's apple maggot quarantine zone and keeps it from being burned as waste. In tonight's feature story, Winton's public liaison Robette Schmidt explained for us how the system works.
My name is Robette Schmidt. I work at Winton Manufacturing, the composting company by Lake Wenatchee. I'm the sales and marketing manager there. 2 years ago is when we officially started servicing restaurants and businesses. And it's also when we launched our community composting program within the community for a bucket so people could compost from home. Since then, we have about 211 community composters and more than 20 businesses on board, all the way from Wenatchee to Leavenworth. So last year, we brought in just over 1,100 tons, which is about 2.5 million pounds from local, just in this region. And we converted that into about 1,500 yards of compost. It's a new idea to compost at businesses in this area. So we often go into a restaurant, a business, we've had some reach out to us, but we go in and we tell them what we do and we set them up with a service. So they collect it at their business and then they put it into a bin and we have a truck that comes around and picks it up. So it depends. Some people already know about it and can't wait to do it already. And then others are just learning too. So it just depends. We do make some other soil products. Like we have a topsoil that we make up at our site, and we mix compost into everything. So any product that you buy from us actually has some compost in it, or you can just buy the straight compost as well. We have a community composting program where people get a bucket, and for $5 a month they compost at home, and they bring their bucket to a drop-off location. And then businesses, it ranges depending on how much volume of food waste. And then we also have a yard waste program. So we currently get some yard waste from Chelan from the transfer stations, and then people can come up to us as well and drop off their yard waste. I think the county's done a really good job, and the city of Leavenworth, because they both have drop-off locations to get people to not leave that quarantine zone. I think we are starting to see more landscapers using our facility because we're open 6 days a week versus those two other areas are only open once or twice a week. So people are definitely bringing to us, and that's one of the important things is if we keep all that yard waste here and even bring yard waste down valley up, we can mitigate for the apple maggot because our piles heat up to 160 degrees. So we kill all of the bad stuff, including weed seeds. So it's a unique, we're the only composter in the state of Washington that operates in the quarantine and also services outside of a quarantine zone. So it's a pretty neat little package. I would say what's really neat about Winton and even being in this area is just we can reuse something that is recyclable. Food waste and yard waste is recyclable or compostable even, and we can reapply that to our lawns. It's compost made here for here. So that whole circle can happen just right here in our region, which I think is very exciting.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope your Wednesday was a good one. Boy, it was nice just because the wind shut down. Wasn't that nice out there today? I was kind of wondering this morning of blowing a little bit, then by noon, hardly any wind at all, and that made for a beautiful day around the Wenatchee Valley. Beautiful shot, too, outside our weather window from this afternoon, looking down at the valley from a Wenatchee Heights Sky-Fi tower camera, and lots of blue sky out there. We did see a few high clouds that kept our temperature down a little bit, but all in all, it was a nice day today, and we are getting hot as we move into the upcoming weekend. Expect temperatures to be near about 86 degrees for us tomorrow. Friday, I think we'll hit about 90. Saturday will be our warmest day, anywhere from 92 to 95 for a high temperature, and then we'll cool down with maybe an isolated shower early Sunday morning, but still hot. High temperatures Sunday near about 90 degrees. So get ready for the first heat wave of the year. And with that heat wave, I know a lot of you are going to go boating. You want to hit the area lakes and rivers, maybe do a little swimming, but the water is still very cold throughout our area. And we are talking temperatures in the upper 40s for most bodies of water around our area. I'll just tell you what, just make sure you wear a life jacket if you are in the water. A wetsuit would be the best thing to use. Keep you warm a little bit in those cold water temperatures this weekend because it is going to be hot and the temptation, yeah, it'll be there. High temperatures today, right where we should be for this time of year, 76 degrees. Our record high, 99, and that was set in 2016. Our low temperature this morning, 48. 53 is our normal low, and 40, our record low, set back in 1976. Sunrise 5:06 this morning, and the sunset now is at 8:54. Taking a look at those Thursday temperatures, a big jump in temperatures for almost all of us. 86s, Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy. 85 degrees for the high temperature in Wenatchee tomorrow. A little cooler in Eniat and Chelan, and up Highway 97 to Omak as well. 83 in Leavenworth, and 81 going to be a warm one even for you folks up in Lake Wenatchee tomorrow. The reason, a big area of high pressure, you can just see it down in Texas. This is really fueling the big flow of southerly air up into the Pacific Northwest. We also have an aiding area of high pressure, and that'll bring some nice weather. Sunny skies for tomorrow. It'll be warmer with high temperatures in the mid-80s. We are talking temperatures around 110 in the desert Southwest for Thursday and Friday. And then for Friday here, sunny skies. You can see that ridge, and there is that high pressure that moves up from the desert Southwest southwest. That is going to warm us up. We're going to see highs Friday near 90 degrees. And then as we get you into the upcoming weekend, I think Saturday, even though we will see some of those high clouds around the area, it's going to be our warmest day with high temperatures in the low to mid 90s. And that goes for a big chunk of central and eastern Washington. By the time we get into the end of the weekend on Sunday, we are seeing a weak storm system that will kind of slide through. That could kick off very scattered, isolated showers Sunday morning, but don't let it bother you too much. Going to stay warm with high temperatures Sunday in the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. And then as we get you into the next work week, still high pressure dominating our weather. Lots of sunshine on Monday. In fact, the entire state of Washington should be virtually cloud-free. We're going to stay warm too on Monday with highs in the upper 80s and not much change for Tuesday. In fact, some compressional heating with low pressure in southeastern Washington. We're going to warm up just a little bit for Tuesday with highs then near 90 degrees. All right, your 7-day forecast. 51 overnight tonight. 85 tomorrow, 90 for Friday, 93 degrees on Saturday. Going to be a beautiful weekend. Partly cloudy with maybe an isolated shower Sunday morning and 88 degrees. 87 as we kick off our next work week on Monday with sunshine. More sunshine on Tuesday. High temperatures right around 90 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
On June 7th, the NCWLIFE channel will be providing live coverage of Eastmont's commencement exercises at 6 and Wenatchee's following at 8. Coverage is brought to you by our premium supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, and our gold supporter, the Town Auto Group. Coverage is also brought to you by Apple Valley Honda, Chelan Douglas Community Action Council and AmeriCorps, Caldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Aris Valley Pest Control, Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista, Together for Youth, the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and the Wenatchee Valley Technical Skills Center.
And a happy Wednesday. The Mariners hung on for dear life last night to pick up their 4th straight win with a 4-3 decision at Oakland. Seattle left the bases loaded in the first before finally scoring 3 runs in the third on 4 doubles. They'd add another run and need it as the A's tried a late-game rally that may have injured closer Andres Munoz.
That will get it done. A slicing drive deep into the gap. Everybody runs. JP walks home. Here comes Josh right behind him. Ty France ringing a bell, doing Ty France things. A 2-run double, and the Mariners have a 2-0 lead. Ty with his 9th double. RBI's 25 to 26. Hitting hard. That is a fair ball that's going to work. Really making a turn. The big man's going to hustle to second with an RBI double. The Mariners have a 3-0 lead. Nicely done.
That is the 4th double in this inning.
Yes, indeed.
1-1, inside out swing, floater into left center field. That's going to drop down. Geloff rounds third. He will score, and another RBI for Abraham Toro. He tallies the first A's run. It's 3-1 Seattle.
I think this inning move on. It's hit hard and knocked away and throws it away. Run scores, 4-1 Mariners. Base hit E6. 3-hit night for Rojas.
And the throw went into the dugout, so he'll get second base. Goes to knock it down, and it goes right to the shortstop, but he rushes his throw. Would have been a close play.
Yeah, Schulman threw it away.
That's grounded to short. Crawford won't have a play at the plate. Langoliers drives in the second A's run. It's now 4-2. Rooker has to stay put at second, but the A's do get another run.
Big spot. First pitch. Wow, gets by. Here comes the run. The play at the plate. He is safe. Runner to second. Cameron. Oh, my goodness.
Here's a slider that gets away from him. Cal's not able to get to it. That could have been an ankle or a knee or all kinds of problems. Now they have the trainer and Scott Service heading out to the mound.
It looked like a good push off there.
I think he's
trying to gut it out.
I don't think so.
Till now, 3-2. Pitch from Sauce. come back. Oh, yeah, there we go. Gonna run it over, little mowing shot. Yes, sir. Mariners get this win. They survive. 4-3 Mariners. Their 8th win in the last 9. Their 5th win in the last 13 on the road. They pick up a full game on Texas, which lost at home to Detroit.
Manager Scott Service talked about the pitching performance of George Kirby in the bullpen and the situation surrounding Munoz.
Give Oakland a ton of credit. They really battled with George tonight and got the pitch count up there. I thought George's stuff was really good. There was just no easy outs. They were battling through, fouling balls off, created some traffic against them. I thought he made some huge pitches to get out of it. Tried to get a little bit more in the 6th, but they were on him. Thought Austin both huge 3 outs for us in the 6th inning from there, and then the other guys in the bullpen after that did their job. Obviously Mooney's got a little issue going on with his low back when he had the plate. The plate certainly didn't help things there, so he didn't feel he was 100%, so had to go to Sauce, and Sauce found a way like he normally does. So everybody chipping in out of the bullpen tonight. It wasn't clean. I got to give Oakland a ton of credit. They had a lot of really good at-bats, drew some walks, put a lot of pressure on us. But end of the day, you got to find a way to win. And it may not always be pretty, but our guys did a great job tonight, just kind of grinding through it.
Josh Rojas continues to be Seattle's best hitter, going 3 for 5 with a run and an RBI. He's now hitting .288 on the season. Seattle and Oakland play again tonight, 6:40 on Root Sports Northwest. Seattle's lead in the American League West is up to 5.5 games over Texas after the Rangers fell to Detroit 3-1 last night. Houston kept pace with an 8-5 win over St. Louis. Angels won back-to-back games over San Diego, winning last night 4-2. As the Seahawks continue to work on installing a brand new offense and defense, they'll also be breaking ground in the coaching ranks. Aiden Dearday, there you go, was hired by Mike McDonald as Seattle's new defensive coordinator this offseason. He's the first ever British-born person to be hired by an NFL team in a coordinator position. He played in NFL Europe as a linebacker and served as Dallas's defensive line coach for 2 seasons before coming to Seattle. His focus is on installing his new defense and getting his players used to being in the right place at the right time.
When you get in real live reps of movement, shift, it's more the pre-snap than it is the post-snap. Understanding all the pre-snap communication, the adjustments and the shifts that have to happen. We can get that at full speed, and then once the play's snapped, it's understanding your fits, your coverage, and how you adjust the coverage after that. But it was a great day. I think at this time of year, you really have to kind of step back and look at it from a big picture. I don't think you have to get down into the detail. You're going to install the system, then you're going to install it again, then they're going to get another hit of it next week when we get into true mandatory minicamp, and then they get another hit in training camp. I think right now they are just where they're meant to be, and you have to, I think at times at this time of year, you've got to be comfortable making those mistakes and learning from them,
Dearday and the Seahawks will try to improve a defense that has languished towards the bottom of the NFL the past several seasons. The Wenatchee Apple Sox remain undefeated on the season with a come-from-behind 6-5 win in Port Angeles last night. Wenatchee trailed 5-3 heading into its last at-bat before scoring 3 runs without a hit. We get more on the comeback with the voice of the Apple Sox, Joel Norman.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox scored 3 runs in the top of the 9th inning to defeat the Port Angeles Lefties 6-5 on Tuesday night at Civic Field. Wenatchee's first road game of the season didn't quite go completely the way they wanted, as they committed 4 errors in this game, but they rallied back in the 9th inning. All 9 men came to the plate. The Apple Sox did not collect a base hit in the 9th inning, but 4 walks, a hit by pitch, an error, and 2 wild pitches helped Wenatchee earn the victory in the series opener. The Sox improved to 4-0 in West Coast League action and win the season series against the Lefties with 2 games remaining in it the next couple of days. Wenatchee takes on Port Angeles again on Wednesday night with first pitch at 6:35 p.m. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joe Norman.
As Joel mentioned, the two teams meet again tonight at 6:40. You can hear him on radio with the call on Sunny FM. Checking the Les Schwab scoreboard from last night in the West Coast League, Edmonton top Ridgefield 13-4. Kamloops edged Bellingham 3-2. Kelowna beat Victoria 8-1. Yakima Valley came out on top over Springfield 5-2 in 13 innings. Corvallis blasted Bend 14-6. Walla Walla at Portland was rained out for the second straight night. Wenatchee's lead in the WCL North is a game over Nanaimo and 1.5 games in front of Victoria. Kamloops and Bellingham are 2 games back. The Lefties still trying to find their first win of the season. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Wednesday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us and have a great night.